Good evening, chat. Dan VR. For this video, I ask graciously that you donate to the Daniel Virtual Reality Fund. So essentially what had happened is the other day, I went out with my friends to the bar. You know, night out in the town, we're having a good time. So we get to this bar, Hometown Classic. And I see this girl, and it looks like she's getting pressed. It looks like people are like, you know, kind of shoving her around. So obviously, I go over there. I go, hey, leave her alone. But they kept like jumping her. And they were trying to pull her into this car, so obviously you know how I am. I just started fist fighting. All of them. Like 20 guys at once. I felt them all like coming out of the bar, just coming out inside of me. And we're just, you know, swinging left and right. Fortunately, I did actually win the fight. 1 versus 20. I knocked out all of them. 1 punch each. But while I was signing autographs, getting the key to the city from the mayor, and also being elected chief of police, I was distracted. And the 21st guy that I didn't know was there actually abducted the girl. And I had to pay a $20 million ransom to set her free. Which is normally pocket change for me, but like, I just paid rent. So if you could, you know, do your part in making the world a better place and throw me some bread at PayPal, again, right here, Ram Ranch Lover, you know, it would go a long way. But into the video, talking about Layer 2 and how honestly it was a failure. So off rip, Layer 2 should have been open world. I don't know why they made it a dungeon. They should have never made it a dungeon. On top of that, they also promised that we would at least be able to do dungeon raiding, as in ganking other people's Layer 2 expedition. That's never coming. Like, let's be fucking for real. That shit's never coming out. When I first like heard about Layer 2 and through all the sneak peeks and all of the hype leading up to it, I always assumed it was going to be incredibly difficult. Like, this is going to be one of the hardest things that we've ever done in the game. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to use my shitty builds first because, you know, we're going to wipe like every build we have. Like, it's going to take weeks, maybe even a month to figure out. And then because of Lighthook, it was probably the easiest thing we have ever done. I mean, it wasn't even fun. Layer 2 is such a letdown. And when you look at like the sneak peeks, like the one I used here, like for the thumbnail, I'll post it here. Like, that looks like a totally different area. And when you look at the actual trailer, like the Layer 2 trailer, while it does say that the footage shown isn't like the end game result, it's not the in-game content, it looks so much cooler. Like this area with the wind blowing and the cathedral, where was that? That looks way more interesting than whatever the fuck we got. Layer 2 should have always been open world. I assumed it was going to be like the tundra from Rogue. And that makes way more sense. To have it open world, you could have like diver camps, you could have the actual places to explore. It would have felt like more of an exploration than just like checking things off a list. Oh, okay, well, I just have to go turn on the generator. Okay, then I talk to the guards to bring the walls down. Okay, then I do the parkour and do chase. Like, it's the same thing over and over and over. There's no exploration. There's no really... The replayability is really just not there. After you've done it a handful of times, it's not even fun. It's just routine. If it was open world and there was more to explore, like, let's say hypothetically, you had to go to the top right corner of the map to, like, get an item or something, like diver goggles or whatever, to allow you to see better in the gale. and then from the top right of the map to, like, farm or get to the next area, you'd have to go back to the bottom left, and you'd have to cross through, like, bounder pits and all other things to get there, and do, like, parkours built into it. It would have been so much funner. And the craziest thing is, and Agamatsu showed this on his stream, the like fake leaks, like the fake Layer 2 drops that we got are cooler than the actual Layer 2. Like this cave clip here, that's so dope. That's what I wanted Layer 2 to be. Hell, the Dark Sigil cave from Rogue has a better ambience. It has a better atmosphere than all of floor 1 and 2. And that's absurd. Building off of that, of course, having Layer 2, or floor 1 I should say, be open world extends the replayability, extends the lifespan of that content for the simple fact that there are other players down there. Like, people aren't going to be as eager to explore. They aren't going to be as eager to essentially just go all out because they're afraid of getting ganked and wiped, you know? And I'm not saying that that's entirely a good thing. My point is that because people are less likely to just go in to floor 1 with their light hook and not give a fuck because they can't wipe, they'd actually have to be careful. You'd have to plan out your explorations. You'd actually have to go as a team and explore it and figure it out. And then if things get too crazy, you have to escape together. To me, that just that made more sense. That would have been much more in line with what Deepwoken used to be and what everyone, I feel like, was hoping floor 1 would be. Of course, you can still keep like the cathedral as the main aspect of floor 1 and just make Chaser an instanced fight like Duke. And then from there, you can go to floor 2. And while I'm not a big fan of floor 2's design, I feel like for the fucking year we had to wait, they could have done a lot more. Overall, I think it's okay. Like, just make the Chaser an instanced boss, and then from there, floor 2 can be the actual, like, an actual dungeon. That can be something. Because, I'm like God's strongest ganker, and even I could say that having floor 2 be open world and just letting whoever the fuck go down there would be an absolute nightmare. It wouldn't really work. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. And let me know what you think in my bank account.